For personalized astrology reports and interesting blogs, make sure you click on my original and correct website, and that's www.vedicoraclebykadambari.com.
What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, today we'll be talking about one of the most dreadful and most common disorder in this world, and that's depression. Well, according to World Health Organization, around 300 million people throughout the globe suffers from this disorder. Well, WHO considers depression as a disability. And yes, indeed, depression is disability because it just disables us to live a good life. Okay, what happens when you suffer from this? You experience sadness, you experience frustration, anger, you tend to lose interest in your daily activities, and most of all, it's just unhappiness. And unhappiness leads to loss of memory, loss of concentration, loss of sleep, loss of appetite, and all these things really impairs your health. See, WHO says that there are four factors, four pillars which determine your health. Number one, it's your physical strength, physical well-being. Number two, it's your mental well-being. Number three, social well-being. And number four, it's your spiritual well-being. So even if like one pillar gets weak, all the other three pillars will also get weak because there will be immense pressure on those three pillars too. So what happens when you are unhappy, you are sad, you feel depressed? So your mental strength tends to get weak. And once your mental strength weakens, it affects your physical strength, your social well-being, and your spiritual well-being. Okay, you tend to develop a lower immunity, you suffer from fatigue, tiredness, and further it could lead to disorders like obesity, cardiovascular disorders. That's how depression just kills your health. Okay, what about social well-being? Whenever you are sad, you're unhappy, you tend to withdraw from the social circle. You don't want to talk to anyone, you don't want to go out with the people, you don't want to enjoy your life. And thirdly, spiritually, also your energy goes down. There's loss of energy, loss of optimism, positivity. You tend to lose faith on yourself, you tend to lose faith on the divine. Now the question is, how horoscope analysis can reveal about the mental health of a native. Are there certain planetary placements which indicates that, okay, this person is prone to depression, this person is prone to emotional insecurity? Yes, the answer is yes. There are certain planetary placements, there are certain planets which can really help us to understand that yes, this particular native is prone to insecurity, this person is prone to sadness. And on the number one comes planet moon. Planet moon, as we all know, is the karaka of our emotions. Okay, emotional stability. It represents our mind, subconsciousness, consciousness. It rules over our sleep, it rules over our happiness. See, moon rules the fourth house of a horoscope, the house of happiness. So yes, moon is the karaka of happiness too. Now what happens when planet moon gets afflicted? There are two things. Either the moon is powerless, or number two, it gets afflicted. When does planet moon gets powerless? When it's in the state of waning. You have to check out your horoscope and see the overall strength of planet moon. You have to check it out whether it's waxing or waning. And if it's waning in your horoscope, this means that moon is powerless in your horoscope. What happens when moon is waning in your horoscope? It just increases your sensitivity. You're emotionally sensitive. You tend to pick negative emotions, negative energy from your surroundings, which makes you sad, which makes you depressive. Okay, and also with waning moon, it affects your sleep also. And once your sleep gets disturbed, again you feel very low, you suffer from low energy levels. So yes, moon over here creates emotional instability. It makes you highly sensitive. So any kind of criticism, any kind of negative impact can really shake you to the core. That's how a waning moon makes you prone to emotional sensitivity, sadness, and sudden mood swings. Secondly, we were talking about the affliction of planet moon. Well, how does planet moon gets afflicted? Whenever it's associated with Saturn and the lunar nodes, Saturn, Rahu, Ketu. Okay, in any form, whether moon is aspected by them or it's in conjunction with Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu, these planetary combinations can make you prone to depression. See, planet Saturn always brings difficult circumstances, especially when it's making a relationship with planet Moon in your horoscope. It brings difficult circumstances, a lot of criticism and pressure on your shoulders. And that is the reason which makes you sad, which makes you unhappy. Rahu is the master of all illusions. So whenever Rahu is in somehow it's related to the planet Moon in your horoscope, it brings hallucinations, emotional turmoil, paranoia, a fear, unknown fear in your mind. Ketu also do the same. Ketu and Moon combination brings paranoia, phobia, fears. Okay, it's very hard for these people to get rid of their difficult experiences. Even the placement of moon in the 6th, 8th, and the 12th house are quite strong placements which can result in depression. After moon, it's your lagna, okay? If moon is your body, then the ascendant, the lagna, is the very soul of that body. If lagna gets afflicted, maybe it's under the influence of the Pap Kartari Yoga. Whenever you have malefics like Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Mars in both of your houses, 2nd and 12th house, and it's hemming your 1st house, really there are very high chances of emotional trouble and sadness. Lastly, I would like to mention a very important thing. Something which I have noticed in many horoscopes, people who have great emotional turmoil. The presence of moon or the lagna in the gandanta point. The first pada of Ashwini, Magha, and Mula. The 4th pada of Ashlesha, Jyeshtha, and Revati Nakshatra. People who have their moon or their lagna in the gandanta point, they do suffer from a lot of emotional turmoil, mood swings, and unhappiness. Their mind is completely under the influence, under the control of the external environment. Any kind of a negative stimulus or any kind of negative situation can really make them go emotionally unstable and unhappy. Especially when that part of Gandanta point, when Jyeshtha, the transition between the Jyeshtha and the Mula Nakshatra, the very first pada of Mula Nakshatra is the most difficult placement to have your lagna or to have your moon over there. Now, what is the solution? How to cure this thing? Well, how to cure a problem? You have to get to the root of that issue and just remove that root. Our expectations and desires are the root cause of all the sufferings. No, I'm not saying you that you should not desire anything in life, but your happiness, Your mental peace should never ever be dependent on the accomplishment of your desires. Your mental peace should not rely on a person or an object. It should be free from everything. Happiness should be your lifestyle. It should never ever be dependent on any object or a person. So now let's talk about few remedies which you can do to make yourself much better. These remedies will help you to heal your sadness, to heal your depression. Number one, practice mindfulness. See, whenever we meditate, we tend to isolate ourselves from those thoughts and ideas which keeps on bothering us. Okay, we should avoid thinking about all of our problems. But when you practice mindfulness, you have to focus on what's bothering you. So whenever you meditate, whenever you close your eyes, you think about what's the most difficult thing which is always bothering you, which makes you sad. And think about it that you are a very strong individual. You have that power to overcome all sorts of issues. You are much bigger than the problem. You are way stronger, and even if that problem persists in your life, you can manage it. Okay, you have that power to manage that thing properly. I can live my life happily even if that problem is there. Okay, that is what we call as mindfulness. But mindfulness always helps us to live happily even though there are problems, but yes, you will know the art of living. Secondly, a very amazing solution for afflicted moon or a powerless moon, God Shiva. Well, God Shiva carries that waning moon over here, right? And he is the reason why that waning moon waxes. So chanting of the Shiva Tandav Stotam or even listening to it really helps to cure depression. The hands of King Ravan got crushed when he tried to uproot the Kailash mountain. He wanted to take that Kailash mountain to Lanka. He wanted that Lord Shiva should reside over there. And due to anger, Lord Shiva just pressed the Kailash mountain with his toe. And due to that immense pressure, Ravana cried in agony, he cried in frustration. And then he chanted Shiva Tandav Stotam. And after that, he was blessed with the divine grace of God Shiva. Well, you can chant or listen to the Shiva Tandav Stotam on the 13th Tithi, okay, on the Pradosham day, which is the 13th day from the full moon and the new moon. You can chant this, you can listen to this in the evening time. Well, the very last remedy is more of scientific in nature. You can consume tryptophan-rich food products. Tryptophan is an essential amino acid. It acts as a precursor to a very important chemical substance which is quite essential for our brain, and that is serotonin. Well, serotonin makes us happy. It brings the sense of well-being. Therefore, you can consume dark green leafy vegetables, different kinds of nuts and seeds in your diet, which can really help you to feel better. So guys, that's all for today's video, and if you like this video, do put a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Till then, goodbye.